My name is Kinga Zajder, and this is my first weather briefing. I will graduate in July this year with Master of Science at Eötvös Loránd University. I've been working at HungaroMet since 2024 as a severe weather forecaster. You can see an Airmass RGB here. Can you please draw the weather front and the high and low pressure system? Okay, thank you. So, compared to the past few days, Europe's weather is now being shaped by the large-scale anticyclone. In the areas dominated by the anticyclone, the weather is calm and sunny, with some cloud-free areas with temperature below freezing. As you can see, this picture. And snow is still dominated in the Nordic region and the Alps. On the MTG Cloud Phase RGB, we can easily detect snow on the ground. The dark blue color means snow on the ground. We can observe in the areas over the Alps, in the Turkish and Spanish mountains, over Russia, North Scandinavian, and also over Greenland. Over the sea, close to Greenland, we also see the same color, which means that the sea is frozen. There might even be some snow on the top of it. The cyclone is located over the British Isles and is moving steadily eastward. From the Adriatic Sea, the Mediterranean cyclone is moving in from the south, which has made it rainy for several days. As a result of several days of rainfall in Bosnia and Herzegovina, many places received over 100 millimeters of precipitation. Here we can see the ground measurements for the last 4 days. It can be also nicely seen in the Opera radar permutation animation. The animation shows rainfall measurements over the last 3 days. Further rainfall is expected in the coming days due to the Mediterranean cyclone. And thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Kinga. Now we will move on to the second part of the weather briefing. So last Friday I was flying over the Balkan from Athens to Budapest, and I have seen several flyers from the plane. You can see one small one here. It was not easy to take any pictures, but there were several ones, so I thought that it might be a quite nice topic for the weather briefing, how we can see fires from the satellite, or whether we can even see them. And because it's still before the fire season. So what do you think, which channels can be used for fire detection from MTG? You can use your markers and try to mark the channels which can be useful for fire detection in your opinion. So you have, I have allowed to use the annotations tools. So you can try to think about. There are some channels which has been already available from MSG, from Severi. So some of you has already or might already have used it for fire detection. And you try to think which channels could be useful. 1.6. This is a solar channel. Yes, what else do you think? Is there any infrared channel which can be useful for fire detection? Okay, we see one with 10.5. Maybe. Let's see, anything else? Exactly, see 3.8. 8. That's a very good fire detection channel. Okay, 2.2, someone also showed 2.2. Yes, that's also 10.5. I'm not sure we can always see fires in 10.5 or if we can see, but let's see what if we try to think a little bit about the fire detection, that what we can see in the radiation for the fires. So you all probably know and remember from your school days or study days that the hotter the object is, the shorter the wavelengths that it emits most. So here we have a figure where we have the wavelengths going from the very short to the longer wavelengths. And here we have the 3.8 wavelengths, which you have nicely showed that it's very good for fire detection. This is one of the most suitable channels, because usually the temperature of the fire is around 600 and 1300 kelvins, and you can see the Planck curve. This is for 500, but you will have probably the peak with the 600 at 3.8. So this is a very good channel to detect fires and hotspots. But also, if the fire is really, really hot, then we can also see them in shorter wavelengths, such as the 2. Maybe somewhere here, 2.2, and in the 1.6. So these are the three channels which is very good to be used for fire detection. So we have the Cloud Phase RGB here, and I would like to ask you if you can see anything strange in this image. You need to have a sharp eye, but you can still probably see something strange. So you should be able to use your annotation tool and try to mark something strange looking in this image. I don't know how familiar you are with the Cloud Phase RGB, but usually the low-level clouds are yellowish, the snow is dark blue, as Kinga has already said previously. No one sees anything strange. I can tell you it's near to one of the lakes. There is a strange thing. Those are what you have marked are high clouds, high-level clouds. Those are lakes, yes. Maybe I will try to help you a little bit if I can. Here in the middle, yes, someone has already drawn it. Here in the middle, we have a very strange greenish dot. And if we move or zoom into that area, then we can see these very, very strange pixels. And this was actually a fire. The reed was on fire. It was burning near the town Zsófia on the 20th April, and it could be very nicely seen in this RGB. So the Cloud Phase RGB, why can we see fires in the Cloud Phase RGB? Because we have the 1.6 and the 2.2 channels in this RGB. So it's not the best to detect fires, but you can still see if the fire is quite hot, or yes, you can still be able to see it in this RGB. So we have also another type of RGB which we can create. It's called the fire temperature RGB, which uses the three channels, and it can be more nicely seen, this fire in this RGB. So we use the 3. This is for the beers, but we use 3.8, 2.2, and 1.6 channel in the fire temperature RGB. And it's very good to detect hotspots and also give you information about the temperature of the fire. It can be also used to detect some of the dry vegetation and things like that. So if you look at this image, we have actually 3 images in this slide, where we have the 3.8 channel, we have the 2.2, and we have the 1.6. Can you detect any fires on these? Can you guess where we can see some fires? It's not easy. If we think about how can we see hotspots or fires into 3.8, this is IR channel, so its temperature should be very high. So in this colors or this green scale, color scale, it should be very dark. Oh yes, someone has already spotted one of the fires up in the with the arrow. Yes, very good. But we cannot really see the other two if even if we are having a very sharp eyes and are looking very closely, it's not easy to see anything on those two. So if we look also at the Cloud Phase RGB, can we see it? Now we know we need to look at or need to search for green things. Can we see anything? Can you see any fires or hotspots in this image? This is the same image as we looked at before. So something should be at the same spot where you have already marked in the previous slide. So here, if I try to have, yes, there is something, but if we are looking very closely, we might, yes, indeed, we might even see something there. Yes, but it's not easy to find in this RGB. So let's see whether we can see it better in the fire temperature RGB. So can you spot any fires here? We have already seen 2. Can you spot any of them? Yes. Good. Nice. Anything else maybe? We have also 1 probably. You try to mark it maybe also here. Very good. So let's move on this week. I don't know if you have heard about or if you have looked at images, but there has been quite a big fire in the Danube Delta on the 25th of not May but March. There is a typo in the slide where I'm very sorry about it. On this day, and here the fire was bigger, so you can clearly see where the fire is the hottest, or where, yes, so you have other colors for the fire, not just red, but you have orange and also yellow colors for the hot fire. And if the fire is extreme intense, then you will even have some white pixels in the middle of the fire. So it really gives you an idea how the fire is extended. So here is an animation where we not only had 1 fire, but you can spot several ones. And even towards the end of the animation, you can see that the cirrus cloud, this dark green cloud, is moving over the fire, and when it's still thin enough, then we can still see through the cloud and see the fire. So this was kind of not very nice fire there, because I don't know how familiar you are with the area, but there are a lot of birds living in that area, and it's not good for them to have these fires. So now we have seen the fire itself, but we haven't seen any smoke. So what do you think? What RGB can you help to detect smoke? There are a couple of names here. So can you use your markers and try to tell us Which RGB would you look at if you would like to detect smoke from a fire? We have seen that neither the cloud phase or the fire temperature are very good at detecting smoke. But yes, indeed, the true color RGB is good for detecting smoke. Let's see over this case whether we can see any smoke. So we had the fires here, and if you look closely, you can see the fire going over the sea. I just start the animation again. So you can see the smoke plume from the fire, and then of course the clouds are moving over it, so we will not see that so good, so well, but still it's fire. The smoke is nicely seen on the true color RGB because we have the visible channels, which are very good to detect aerosols. Okay, so we have seen how we can detect the fires with MTG FCI, and also seen the smoke. With that, I would like to thank you for your attention, and if you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask.